If you are stuck in the daily grind but aren't ready or able to leave your job yet, today's video is for you. I've been there, stuck in the daily grind, blaming my job, blaming the corporate culture, and with zero time for myself and my family. If you feel that you're leading an aimless life, you're not alone. According to a study, 6 out of 10 people feel stuck in the daily grind and they feel like they're leading a purposeless life. In today's video, I will share with you steps that I use to find more freedom, fulfillment, and balance in my life even before I decided to take a break from my corporate career to start my own startup. Before we get started, a quick reminder to 80% of you who haven't yet subscribed to my channel to do so now and click on the notification bell icon so that you can be notified every time I release a new video. Your subscription helps with channel growth. It lets me know that you find value in what I share and inspires me to bring these powerful videos to you. And now that we have you subscribed, let's get started. So I want to start with establishing your independence. Many of us operate with the mindset that we are dependent on our job for our paycheck, for our worth, and for our social standing. We believe that we have to do things a certain way and show up in a certain way because we don't want to ruffle feathers at work. We don't want to show up as our authentic self because we fear that it'll hurt our chances of promotion or we'll get fired if we don't. We feed ourselves with this narrative that we are trapped in our job, that we have no other option. And since we are attached to this so-called security of a paycheck, we compromise on our values. I felt like this several times in my corporate career, and every time it was a signal for me to tap into my skill set and my self-worth and know that I'm not dependent on a particular person or a company, not dependent on my manager, my boss, the leadership team, the CEO, or the board, or the company that I worked for. If I have the skills, I can leverage them and I can be successful anywhere. I have options. This realization changed the way I perceived my job and how I showed up at work. I was able to leverage my skill set to build multiple sources of income through my keynotes, courses, and coaching services. I was no longer dependent on my job for the so-called financial security. And with this freedom, I was no longer stuck in my job. And I was able to make intelligent career choices that better aligned with my values. I did not need to be in a toxic culture with toxic managers anymore, just for financial security or the paycheck that the job was bringing. Now, to establish your independence, you need to be able to expand your personal portfolio and embrace your multidimensional identity. We are all a unique blend of skills, experiences, and perspectives. But so often, we tie our identity to the company that we work for and the job titles we hold, and we forget that we are so much more than our work. Expanding my personal portfolio for me meant to look beyond my tech exec job that I had and leverage my presenting and writing skills to become a best-selling author, a podcaster, a keynote speaker, and a media contributor. Yes, it was uncomfortable at first. It was very uncomfortable to step outside my comfort zone. But going through that journey to expand my personal portfolio was so worth it. It allowed me not only to discover parts of myself that gave me joy, but also helped me quit the rat race and the daily grind. One of my friends, who is also a tech leader, has deep interest in historical sites. He expanded his personal portfolio and leveraged his interest to build out a speaking and travel business that now probably makes more money than his regular job. As a follow-up to viewing this video, take out some time today to list your skills, the interests, and the experiences, and then identify which one of these you can use to expand your personal portfolio. When you start expanding your personal portfolio, you will realize that you need more mental space and time to explore and grow. And that brings us to the next step, which is to say no often. We are so good at saying no to ourselves when it comes to self-care, when it comes to prioritizing our growth, but we are really bad about saying no to others and setting boundaries. In my culture, we are taught to put ourselves the last. We are conditioned to always say yes to helping people. This carries through at work too, where we very so often say yes to the tasks that don't add value or drive impact. And then we resent ourselves for saying yes, and we resent others for giving us those tasks. We get so busy doing these random tasks to help others that we miss out on spending time with ourselves to expand our personal portfolio. My biggest learning in the corporate world was to give myself the permission to say no and set boundaries. I also found so much power in realizing that no is a complete sentence. You don't need to explain yourself any further after saying no. Once I started saying no, I realized that I had more mental space to try out new things and to execute on new ideas. I could say no confidently because I had established my independence, and I knew that I didn't have to say yes because of the fear of retaliation. In my 20 plus years of corporate career, I have realized that work never ends. Work days are no longer 9 to 5, and there is no concept of finishing my work before ending my day. I realized that in an attempt to trying to finish it all in one day, I was actually working late every single day, and I was living the daily grind. No one was forcing me to do this. I was doing this to myself. I had always led global teams and took it upon myself to be available to all of them at all times, resulting in 16 to 18-hour days. There was no time left for anything in this schedule. I now put things that are important to me on my calendar and build my work schedule around it. Morning 7 to 9 a.m. is blocked out for activities around sending kids to school. There's time built in for recording videos like this, or also there's time built in for walk in the park with my dad. I no longer strive to do it all and try to finish all the tasks in my task list on a particular day. I strive to work on impactful tasks and let the non-urgent tasks spill over to the next day. I no longer put that unnecessary pressure on myself and create fake sense of urgency around those tasks. I carve out time for personal pursuits, and it gives me an opportunity to enjoy life and live in a moment rather than being in the daily grind. And this brings us to a very important point, which is optimizing your energy cycle. Optimizing your energy cycle involves aligning your daily tasks with your natural energy fluctuations to maximize your productivity and well-being. By identifying your peak hours, those times where you feel most alert and focused, you can schedule your most demanding tasks during those periods. This approach ensures that you tackle critical work when you are at your best. During the times when your energy naturally dips, it's beneficial to plan for less interactive activities or take breaks to recharge. By matching your tasks to your energy levels, you can work more efficiently, reduce stress, and maintain a balanced, productive day. For example, I do most of my creative work at night. That's when my creativity is at the peak. Mornings are typically mundane work because I'm not that alert in the morning. My energy levels also dip during the afternoon, so I use that time to listen to podcasts, to take a new course, or to respond to tactical emails. An important aspect of my career coaching is helping the executives understand their energy cycles so that they can drive maximum impact in the work that they do. For the longest time, I used to blame my situation for being part of the rat race and the daily grind. It took me years to understand that it was actually I who was the problem and not my situation. Once I implemented these strategies, doors of opportunities opened for me, including being on TV channels like CNBC, ABC7, and writing for Forbes, and empowering over 150,000 professionals on tech and leadership skills through my LinkedIn learning courses. I hope you find these examples from my journey and the process that I shared helpful in breaking the 9 to 5 grind even when you have a corporate job. If you like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. By doing so, you help in increasing the reach of the channel, and you also help others who might benefit from my videos. Thank you so much for watching. Have a successful week. Bye-bye.